What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Live with Liz. So, today I want to go through the power of real estate investing. I want to show you a couple of the techniques that I use myself to evaluate real estate, how to know what to buy, when to buy, where to buy, and why you're buying. So, I want to actually take us through a live example today. So, the first thing that you want to do when you're starting to look at property, get interested in investments, and figure out whether or not it's worth your money, you want to start to look in areas that are stable. They have stable economies. There's plenty of people. There's some sort of attraction factor, whether that be maybe stable government jobs, maybe big tech, maybe lots of warehouse, maybe it's a boom town, maybe there's a big industry that is able to provide plenty of jobs. That those are some key sources for you to use in order to start investing and using real estate as your investment vehicle. So today, I went ahead and one really good town that I find really great multifamilies in is Evansville, Indiana. It's a smaller city, but it still is able to stand on its own. Oftentimes, when you hear Indiana, you might hear about Evansville. So I found this property here. It's a 6-2. You always want to look at the bathrooms when I'm first looking at properties, whether it be on Zillow, Redfin, any of these other large real estate websites. The bathrooms are going to tell you typically how many units there are. So this looks like a duplex, probably a 3-1 each room. Sometimes it'll let you know in the description. So yeah, exactly 3 and a 1. Gives some information here. It lets us know both units are currently rented out for $800 a month, and tenants to pay their own utilities. We can get an idea of its geolocation. Cool. So fairly older property. Looks like they might have put in new flooring. Looks like each unit has its own bathroom. Looks like, yeah, again, newer carpet. Maybe an older basement might have some sort of hookup for a washer and dryer. But these are the kind of properties that you want to start looking at when you're just getting your foot in the door. Something simple like a 100,000 duplex. So now, once we have an idea of what a good property may look like, let's go over to our property calculator. Let's start to put in some of these stats. So we know that the house is listed for $100,000. That could be negotiated if you were to do your research and use the right resources. Now, anytime you're buying a property, you may want to do some sort of upgrade or repair, whether it's vacant, if it does have tenants, whether or not you're going to renew the lease with them would be up on your own. But it's always good to have some money stashed away for repair costs and put that in your calculations. We'll take our square footage here, right under 2,000 square foot, the number of bedrooms. Now you're going to want to go into your mortgage details. Try to estimate what you think your loan terms would be. Typically, a lot of folks go with a 30-year. I sometimes will advise people to do a 15-year if you can afford those payments. Keeping it under 30% of your take-home pay every month is as ideal. In this example, we're going to go with a conventional 20% down payment. That's going to put you right at 20K there. You're going to estimate about 2% of your closing costs. Okay, that'll be about 2,000. Right now, the interest rate is right in between that 6 and 7%. I think we have it at about 6.5% here. All right, so that's going to leave you at a loan amount of about 82K. That'll bring you to a monthly mortgage payment of $520 if we round up. Now, the goal here is to have our tenants paying that mortgage plus more. So, based off the description, this unit has two tenants in both in one unit, bringing in about 800 each unit. It's going to take us to about 1,600 a month. Now, given that there may be an opportunity for other income, that could be putting in your own coin op laundry, that could be parking. Sometimes people will charge pet rent. These are all additional pieces of monthly income that can be added on to that base rent. So you always want to account for some sort of vacancy rate. This is times of the year where a tenant might leave and you might not have someone lined up. There might be months at a time where you go with a vacant unit. So you want to always factor for that in your savings. Now, monthly rental expenses outside of your mortgage. You'll have a monthly maintenance. There might need to be some sort of yard or preventative maintenance. Every month, you'll want to put away for monthly repairs. Sometimes owners will pay utilities towards that unit. It could be water, sewage, gas, just depends on the city, state, and area, and then property itself. HOA, in this example, we're not going to take a look at any HOA fees. I don't think they're associated with this unit. And then sometimes you may want to incorporate some sort of property manager. They do charge a monthly management fee, hovers around about 8% on average, or it could be a flat fee. All right. Outside of those monthly maintenance expenses, you're going to want to take a look at your annual rental expenses. So for this specific unit that we're estimating here, it's going to be about $650 per year. And then estimate and then annual insurance will hover around that $1,300. So when we put all these numbers together, you can see them all listed out here as we previously went through. Yearly, you're going to service your debt at a total of just over $6,000, and your annual cash flow will be just over $6,000. Now, some of the most important pieces of information here will be your rate of return. Your cap rate is going to be typically with a healthy rental property anywhere from 6 to 10%. We see that in this example, we're coming in at over 11 and a half, over 12.5%. That is a beautiful opportunity. Your cash on cash return is in a beautiful spot as well. So when trying to evaluate a property, when you get ideas, start to look at properties like this. A multifamily or a duplex, sometimes even a triplex might come up. And now if we just do the math, do some compound calculations here. If we're bringing in an annual cash flow after all of our mortgage, our monthly expenses, our precautionary or preventative maintenance expenses, if you're bringing in a cash flow of $6,300 per year, and you purchase one property per year, let's say for 10 years, and you've got 10 properties with similar nets as this, okay, you could be bringing in $63,000 per year with 10 properties, which will break into $5,200 a month. And this is just one stream. This is just one vehicle to get you to wealth. Okay, when you're receiving $5,200 a year in rents, that is more enough to not only quit your job, but put away for investments, put away for the future. So the power of real estate is real. It's not always roses, such as this. There are things that do go wrong. But if you're able to just start small, start with 20K, start to save that money. One way you can do this is starting your own service business, as I've spoke on in previous videos, and I'll continue to go into depth on that. This is it right here. This is one of the easiest ways